Everybody, it's Invictus. Time to know that you can run here the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. It's the weekend, baby. Okay. 2 Lima, 3-4, Spop. Well, we're starting off with Marked. And those of you who know anything about me, you know that I absolutely hate Marked. I hate to start on a negative note here, but Marked is very not great, although there are some situations where Marked can be good. Specifically, surprisingly, is going to be with Cursed Eye. Now, we do also have Red Candle, which is definitely going to help mitigate the effects of Marked a little bit because we can just stop firing and then just do that. Yeah, on 1 HP, not a chance in hell I'm going to be taking BBF, and there's our shop there. So at least we have good tiers and we have good damage, and that is because of Marked. Marked does give you a tiers up when you take it. But yeah, we're going to have to be very careful of like champions and that sort of thing here, like in this room, because one shot from a champion and we will die, or a retaliatory death rattle or anything like that. So I'm not saying that we're going to be using Red Candle for the majority of this run, but unless if we can get a reroll, which I'm going to be looking for immediately, as soon as possible, then we're going to be using Red Candle a lot. So Marked, if you want to know why I do not like Marked at all and why a lot of people don't like Marked, is because it fires on its own. So all you can really do is just move the targeting reticule and Isaac shoots in that direction. Doesn't sound too complicated, but it is very annoying. Oh, apparently when you use your spacebar item, it also triggers Marked, so that's fun. But Cursed Eye, however, if you do happen to get lucky and get Cursed Eye, that can give you a massive, massive tiers upgrade. Why? I don't know. Nobody knows why, but it is a huge combo. One of the first ever god combos that I ever found in Isaac was Marked Cursed Eye. So now, am I going to be looking for Cursed Eye? I mean, I guess, but we're going to need a reroll. Going to last week's question of the episode, coming in from Colt G2021, who said, question of the episode, would you ever consider doing a Throwback Thursday series where you go to older versions / DLCs of Isaac? Yeah, we've done throwback runs before. I would love to do a Through the Years mini-series of Isaac. Maybe even going back to, the other day I was really thinking about, like, man, what if, because there's not much that we need to show or do in Repentance Plus, right? Until another patch comes out, anything like that. I'm just playing for fun. But what would be neat would be if I ended up going back to, like, say, just Rebirth and doing the series from there again before all the crazy times happened, and then going and progressing with, maybe through Afterbirth Plus. I think that definitely holds a little bit more interest for me. I would love to go back to Afterbirth Plus was king in terms of the era of Isaac, in my opinion. And being able to go back there, revisit it, and show everyone before the dark times and everything happened, with the nerfs and stuff from Repentance, I think that would be good. So would I do it every episode? I don't know. I don't know how people would feel about that. I'm definitely down for it. If people want to see, like, hey, like this month or for the foreseeable future, we're gonna be playing Rebirth, like base Rebirth, go back in time type thing. Our first bomb from the bomb bag was a troll bomb, so good start here. Grab another soul heart because apparently we're going to need it. And even if we do get a double deal here, it is no guarantee that we're going to be able to take it unless if we get an HP upgrade from Fruity Plum. And we're going to rely heavily upon Red Candle here to help us out because yeah. Now again, if we end up getting like good DPS, like good damage and that sort of thing, Marked can be okay. It's just annoying to kind of wield. So as you see here, you can micromanage the direction that you shoot a lot faster than doing this and then rotating around. But this is so many button inputs that it's honestly not worth doing for me anyway. It just makes it cumbersome to use. So I will take some Invicta robes for sure, because more damage, and it gives us HP too. But maybe eventually we'll get something from our item room. But that would be one for the mosh pit to really decide on, because I'm totally down with doing a rebirth only series. You know, I'll think of a clever name for it, and we'll get some art from Alex. But you know, it's totally arbitrary in this thinking. But for me, for doing YouTube for so long, I always want to present a game on YouTube as the game that you can just buy right now and start playing, like, so you know what to expect on the most modern current version of the game, however you want to phrase it. That's always been important to me, because I think that if I were to just play just nothing but mods, or play a bunch of old versions of Isaac or whatever, then people would get confused if they're a new player, if they just got the game and they're like, wait a second, why does my item do this? You know, that could sully someone's experience of the game, and also the franchise in general. And that holds true for any game that I play here. Like, you wouldn't want to see the old version of like League of Legends or something when there was massive changes to the game or to abilities or anything like that. Like, people would typically want to see the most up-to-date version of the game that they can play for themselves right now. So if I find something really cool, you can expect to be able to replicate something like that in the game, no matter what game it is. But with that being said, that there are some people who would like to see old stuff being played until new stuff arrives for Repentance Plus. You know, again, we are still in beta, so a lot of people forget about that, but we are actually technically still in a beta client. And you know, I could see myself saying, you know, let's try it out. Let's do a month of Rebirth or a month of Afterbirth, that sort of thing. Let me know. That kind of stuff I'm interested in. I'm very curious to hear what everyone's tolerances are on that for content, because that I'm down. I'm down. If the mosh pit's like, hey, yeah, let's see something old new. Let's rock it. I'll be like, hey, you know what? We'll do it. Let's freaking go. That kind of stuff gets me excited to play some. I had my first training day of the new workout that my trainer put me through, and man, oh man, I used for the first time ever, and I mean ever, in my life, I used the hip abductor. I use the hip abductor machine. If you don't know what that one is, there's several names for it, but it's the one where you have to straddle, and then like you're closing your legs, open your legs. It's designed to work your hips and like your inner thigh area, that sort of thing. You know exactly which machine I'm talking about. Third game. So that was literally the first time in my entire life that I used that machine, and I'm feeling it today. I did have to be careful because obviously I was doing rehab for my hip and back a few months back, and I made sure that my trainer knew about it, and she was aware of it, so took it easy. But man, that was a weird exercise to do. It wasn't difficult. It was just using muscles that like I have never ever had any kind of weight on before. This room sucks. 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 Especially with Mark, this room sucks. To command like 8 different directions here. Okay, we'll go into the shop and get our soul heart back, hopefully. You know what? I'm gonna bomb the donation machine because we need money. Deep Pockets wouldn't be a bad pickup for us. We are already on Catacombs 2, though. Yeah, so we'll go Deep Pockets. We will go for the Soul Heart. Deep Pockets is going to give us a coin total of over 99 cents. We now can go all the way up to 999 cents. Also known as $9.99. You're doing the math out there. And we really could benefit from another tiers upgrade if we're going to be firing like this. I don't honestly know if taking Compound Fracture was the right call. It doesn't feel right. Now, if we end up getting something like Piercing Shot, that's a funny game. Piercing Shots or Eye of Belial or something like that, then hey, I'm all about it. I have a feeling our item room is going to be all the way the hell over there. This room is hell with marked. There's a tinted rock in here. We get a Hangman card, which will allow us to get that Bone Heart, which is good because if we get a Devil Deal here... Oh, and there's a Soul Heart too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Bone Heart first and then put the Soul Heart in front of it. That way it's protected. So in case we take some dumb damage or like a purple fire shoots at us or whatever, we won't immediately lose the Bone Heart without having some kind of red heart inside of the container first. And that's very important for our hopefully upcoming Devil Deal, but we're only at 36%, so I'm not going to hold my breath. What I am holding my breath for is maybe we'll finally get something useful out of an item room that isn't an active item. Come on, game. It's a Friday. It's May. This is my month here. A little bit of a regen go off there with Placenta. And the item room was not up that way. Okay. There it is. Always in the last place you look. There's a third active item in our item rooms now, and yeah, I think I have the right to scoff here because this is getting ridiculous, game. Why? I mean, why even have the item rooms in this run? There's just no point if you're just gonna give us active items. Gonna take the HP upgrade, and we get Void, which you would think Void would be a great pickup for us, but it's actually not great because all we've had are active items. So, and we are relying so heavily on Red Candle that I don't know if we can get rid of it. However, we can take Hungry Soul, which is what I'm going to do. And how ironic is it that just 7 days removed from last week's episode, here we are again with Hungry Soul being called upon as our savior in a run that has very few items. This room is hell. Marked makes this room a lot harder than it should be. Thankfully, Hungry Soul is here. Hungry bro. Sounds like a Walmart brand ripoff of some kind of frozen dinner. Thank you. I'll be here all day. If he had gotten that shot off, we would have gotten hit. We were at a very bad angle there as the computer has its nightly heart attack. Come on now. Come on now. This is the Infinity Room, by the way. Let's go into the item room. I have a feeling there's going to be a greed fight in the shop. We could bomb the Charge Beggar for a greatly increased chance for a double deal, and we get EH Dizzle, which gives us telepills. So we get our first pill of the game, and it's neutral, and we get another power. We get another pill, and it's also neutral. So looking good here. I don't know why I'm going back this way. I know the boss room isn't this way. This is back towards where we started. We got a Yave. Got a Yave. Now, we have a decent shot at making boss rush just because there's been really no exploration needed on this run. And if we can get boss rush, that'd be hopefully good. I need to stop looking where Marked is and just pay attention where Isaac is firing Red Candle, because that's kind of throwing me off here. We did not get a greed fight. I am not taking Compost. We gave Compost a chance, but even under prime conditions, it was not ideal. And honestly, it wasn't even Compost's fault in that run. It was mostly due to the fact that we had no damage. That combo can be very good. But you gotta have the base damage to go along with it. Otherwise, you're in for a sad time. A sad time. These skulls are gonna make me sad trying to get Red Candle through there. There's our heat-seeking fissure. We get a third HP upgrade. And we do get Ouija board, which is a Tears upgrade finally, and we definitely want something like Purgatory. I'll take the Rib of Greed to stop the greed fight on the next floor. By the way, going back to that Wretched fight, if you're wondering why Juicy Sack... No. If you're wondering why Juicy Sack showed up, is because that was the themed item. That was where that second item pedestal that came from. But obviously, I'm still just going to take the HP. And we really need to get this boss rush. I cannot overemphasize that. And by that, I mean go in the wrong direction. Twice. And we're going to grab the full card. And we don't have much room to bomb our way through stuff, so we just got to hope we go in the right direction here. Purgatory is... Purgatory plus Hungry Soul are going to have to work in tandem with each other because... We're not going to make boss rush, are we? A Ouija board does give us Spectral Tears, which is great. Allows us to shoot through environmental objects. And the base Tears up that it gave us is very nice. But you're seeing the difficulty and the annoyance factor of using Marked. And what it does with Jostle Physics is pretty gnarly with the addition of Compound Fracture, which I think I'm never going to take ever again. No, we have to use a bomb here because I'm not going through the conveyor belt with Marked here. That would be a painful endeavor. Yep, just keep it going. The Leech, unfortunately, we don't have any red hearts, so... But hey, it's a passive item in our item shop. That's item room. That's a improvement. All right. And it just keeps going. We are moving at a... We got to the depths in 12 minutes. Not depths 2, but we got to depths 1 in 12 minutes. And Lord help me, for the love of God, please give us a good boss rush. Or a reroll. If the D4 is in here, I will celebrate. The D4, I'll even use the D100. We're that desperate for a reroll here. If the D1 Hizzle shows up, I will not talk trash about it for the next 24 hours. Please. Thank you. Don't get a double deal. I am not going to Shoal. Get Backstabber. Backstab will definitely help, but certainly not the I wouldn't necessarily call it the game changer here. The Telepills, we can at least use that on in the chest to try to get a little bit faster exits from this run, but we haven't seen a dice room. We haven't seen really anything. Gonna bomb this Fool's Gold here because it's essentially free. That puts us in position for a premium item. Now, if we can get something like card reading, I'd be down for that too, game. The world is your oyster. We get the eraser. Treasure map. Hitboxes, everybody. Hitboxes. So definitely want to get the treasure map because that will at least somewhat point us in the right direction of the way. $0.05 here. Get it. So we are going to get treasure map. Now, I was hoping that we were going to get a soul heart or two more because I do not trust this run at all. I mean, at all. My hope that this one little room down in the southwest here is a dice room. It's not. There's our third neutral pill. All right. We got mapping. Backstab, it's if we get, again, it's kind of hinging on if we get piercing or not, but Telepills might be our ace in the hole. Now, maintaining Polaroid invincibility is absolutely essential here on this run because we will die without it. It's number 2 bomb bag. Use a bomb here to get check for the secret room. I know it's probably not there, but we can at least get this key. Always good to check. I don't know where the boss is. It's probably to the southwest, but the way that that little room to the east goes makes me think that it's up there. Although there is a big room to the south, so it's probably where it wants to be. Hungry Soul doing the Lord's work for us. If there's one way we're going to get out of this run, it's going to be through Hungry Soul. Again. History's always repeating itself here. And it only took 7 days for us to get another Hungry Soul run. At this point, we can't take Devil Deals unless, even if it's 9 lives, I don't even know if I take it with 9 lives, to be honest. This run, there's nothing trustworthy about this run right now. Take a damage upgrade. Abaddon would give us movement speed, which we do need, and damage. Essentially, it costs us 1 heart. So we would go down to 5 hearts here for Abaddon for a movement speed upgrade and also a damage upgrade. I think that one's worth it. But this run would be infinitely more better if we didn't have Marked. Marked is the real danger here. I think it's to the southwest, possibly. That's the only reason why I'm uneasy about this run is because of Marked. You see how unwieldy it is. You see how it interacts with clown physics. Hoping for a tinted rock or, I don't know, a positive pill or... Hierophant card, anything that could help soften the blow. A golden bomb. Golden bomb's not going to help too much, but we could use it instead of red candle, not orange candle. There you go, Hungry Souls doing our bidding here. I'm not even gonna bother looking for the super secret room, to be honest. Even though I think it's to the right of the room that's to the right of the secret room. It is essential that we don't take any damage in this run, or in this fight. I don't know how we're not triggering backstab from here, but... There we go. I guess I wasn't high enough. Ooh, boy. Yeah, hold on to your butts, Mosh Pit. This is going to be a photo finish. And we have a long friggin' way to go to Isaac. Probably one of the longest paths we could have spawned with. Dude, it getting caught on this statue here threw me off so bad. And a Mercy Soul Heart there. Luckily we have the range to deal with this. Just kind of shows you that PhD is not everything. The game, you can absolutely get PhD and get absolutely zero pills absolutely out of it, absolutely. Amazing that we did not take any damage in this room. We get one soul heart, one more soul heart, I'll feel good about, not good, but I'll feel better about our situation here. Against Isaac, anyway. Not for the entire run. Let's not get crazy. Thank goodness we got that movement speed upgrade. From Abaddon when we did. All right, this is not going to be fun. We've got to try to get to Purgatory to deny all of his shots, or at least a lot of his shots. But we can't do that. He shot right at the perfect moment. All right. One more to go, Mosh Pit. We're not out of the woods yet. I will feel better if we get any kind of HP. We have another long way to go for Blue Baby. The Intruder, Book of the Dead, Samson's Chain, Host Hat. It's really incredible how little golden chests and item rooms have made an impact on this run. The Intruder will at least slow things down a little bit for us. We've got to utilize range here. Who's still alive? We need Hungry Soul to come out. We're doing some next level dodges in this run now. We got to stay alive. Should be a give me room here. Not a chest in sight. And this is all a dead end. If Super Gluttony drops an HP upgrade, we don't take it, but it's good to know it's there. It's 2 HP. And that was all a dead end, so... Thanks to good dodging, at least we didn't get hit for it, but... I mean, he has to be to the north. That's the only other place. No way he's to the east. We've got to get Super Pride out of here. We don't care about the bombs, obviously, with Host Hat. We get an Eternal Heart, which will act as a shield. That technically is kind of a Soul Heart. This game is starting us with all the rooms that just have, like, instant hits. We can't even use Red Candle in here. Again, I put on my dodging shoes here. No. Just... Now, you might be asking yourself, how come I didn't use Telepills? I did not use telepills because there is a situation where we may have to use it to get out of the blue baby fight. To go get Lard and try again if we take a lot of damage. All right. We have 2 chances here, but let's just take one. On a very, very tense Friday run here. It's going to come down to the wire. Makes this much harder not being able to see Isaac's head. And going for Purgatory to stop all the shots. Hungry Soul is going to start spawning from the ads. And we are out of this run. Good Lord, Mark. You are just awful. But we made it. We did it. Happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget about Pokemon Breaks coming up tonight over at twitch.tv/Invicta, beginning around 6 to 6:30 p.m. Central, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, and that is 7 to 7:30 Eastern time. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by, it's just a barcode. It's literally just a Morse code barcode thing on this Invicta subreddit. Title of the thread was episode 521. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Right? Quote from Handstabbed. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Yeah, that is my logic and luck for most of this game. But let me know, give me feedback on the throwback series idea as well. I'd love to know your input on that one, Mosh Pit. Have a great start to your weekend. Come by the Twitch channel for Pokemon Breaks tonight. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hyping. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Outro? Outro. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like thanks to patrons of mine like Kevin Lay, Paladamores, and Fred. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.